on my brain, crypto, oh you're saying. Talk out with the code, man, I swear to the lane. Eyes on my neck, that shine like a chain. If you don't talk money, man, I know what you're saying. Bitcoin hot, just body stocks. Nas with 100, but I never gas. I went out the hood.
What's up guys, welcome back. Malik here, and today no video because I'm out of the office today, but we're going to be looking at my trades on the NASDAQ 100 today. So I made essentially 4 trades on the NAS100 today. 2 were losers, 1 was a winner. Actually closed that one on today's candle, which would have been 12/12, so December 12th candle. So you can see it here. It's actually the candle for the new day. So I swung this trade, it ride through the entire day, close it out in profit on the next day. I'll be showing you that as well. But I'll be showing you where I got stopped out on the first 2 candles. And then I actually re-entered because it actually gave me a better entry. So you can see the first one was actually a Bitcoin trade. So that was actually an accident. I went for a 0.07 on Bitcoin, and then I lost 1.77 on that trade. That was just a quick trade. I just went in. When I realized that it was wrong, within 4 seconds, you can see here I closed it, right? So moving on to the next one, I entered the NASDAQ 100 on 2 hours after market open on Sunday. So you'll see that part of Monday's candle, if you look on the Cairo time zone, it will actually overlap into what would be a Sunday at around 7 or 8 o'clock. So I entered this one 2 hours after market open, and I got stopped out within, let's say, what's that, 12 minutes. So I got stopped out pretty quickly. I'm not sure if I re-entered right after that, but where I got stopped out. So it's E2, this is where I entered at 16125.6, 16125, and yes, I could have gotten stopped out again. Just looking at it, I could have gotten stopped out again, but then where I had placed my stop loss, I just happened to not get stopped out, and it was comfortable to the point where my risk would have still been around $20 to $30. So this one, I got stopped out that same 2 o'clock candle there. I got stopped out for what's that, $18.52. So that was at 16,099. That's where I got stopped out here. So 16,099.19. I got stopped out for 18.52 there. The next one I entered at 16,125.94. I'm sorry if the screen is a little small. Let's actually extend this a bit. So I got stopped out at 16,125.94. I can just change the 2 last numbers. So right there, that's where I entered the next trade, and then I got stopped out $10 or $11 lower, but that still didn't even allow me to hold this trade throughout that 1 hour candle, because I still got stopped out for a loss of 26.11, and you can see my volume is steady at 0.07, because I see that it's a nice midpoint between having a 0.1, which is a dollar per pip, and then a 0.05, which is losing what's that, 50 cents per pip. I find that it's a nice zone where you can actually make some money but not risk too much, especially when I'm dealing with this account size and I don't want to blow the account because I'm already close to drawdown already. Even though I'm putting myself out of the drawdown steadily, I want to have a way to manage the risk, assume some risk, but not too much risk, and also be able to benefit in case it goes up. And that's exactly what happened today. So from last week's video, I explained that the market might see new highs, and we're actually seeing new highs already. It's just based on how the candles were forming. It looked like a perfect setup for a new high. You can see I entered this trade as soon as the other one got stopped out, I entered on the 251 here. So still on the 2 o'clock candle, around 251, I entered at 16086.64. So it's closer to the bottom, so that way I could actually assume a little bit more risk on this trade. So I had my stop loss at 16050. So even then I'm risking about $15 on this trade. And then I ended up, well, I can actually look at exactly how much I risk on this trade and show you. So I'm entering here at 16086. Let me pull up the calculator real quick. Okay, so here's the calculator. So looking at, when you're doing a buy side trade, all you have to do is just minus your open price from your stop loss to get your risk, right? So when you're doing a buy trade, no, buy trade, you actually minus the stop loss from the open price. So the open price would be 16,160,86.64. Then we minus it from the stop loss. I mean, give or take, you're gonna have some cents, but the cents don't really matter because you're counting the dollars. The cents are neither here nor there. They can neither break nor make your account. So you see the difference between that is 32, right? So if I'm going for a 0.1, I would be risking $32 on this trade. But since I'm doing a 0.7, you can see I'm risking $22 on this trade. And then this trade ended up being a net profit of 120. So that's basically my max risk on this trade, 22. And then I actually close it out on 2 hours. So I waited a full day. So we had 2 hours after market open today, which was on the 12, on the basically the 12 daily candle. Because I mean, daily candles get printed every day at 6, and that was at 16262.99. That's where I close it out right here for a profit of 120.82. So I had a max risk of 22, and then I made 120 on that. So that's like 6 times the risk, essentially, or a little bit over 5 times the amount that I'm risking I made from this trade. Just looking to just take a lot more like this. So we actually started off good. I have one still running. Tomorrow is a key day, which is CPI. I don't really like to trade CPI because of the nature of it, because it can really reverse and knock you out. I actually entered another trade with a max risk of about, let's see, about 20, I believe. It's another 0.07. I entered at 16,275. I have a stop loss at 16,240. So my risk would be about 25 thereabout. And then the other one, I have it running. If it really comes back and reverses me, I understand. But if I get a runner, that would be really good as well. Could really make out on this trade. Could actually make around $400, $500 total on this trade and just have it run. But that's all for today's video. Still doing a nice long 8-minute video. I hope you enjoy this, even though we don't have the cameras, but it's still very informative, and you can see my entries, my exits, and how I'm trying to trade going forward when it comes to having just a daily bias and keeping the trade simple. So this is where I entered. So we can actually probably look. You see, that's where I have my stop loss now at 16,240. And you see where the candle entered here. So if you see it reverse down here, which it's likely to do that, if we see it reverse down there, I'm just gonna be knocked out really quick. So let's see how it trades, but I'm not gonna force it because it's a CPI day as well. So it's definitely not worth it to force it on these trades. But I'll see you in the next video. I'm not sure what area we will be targeting, but I would want to see like the candle look like we're about to reverse. Something like this. If we see something like this, you can tell me. All right, all the buyers are exhausted. We can probably look for sales now, right? But otherwise, from that, I'm kind of looking for buys right now, looking for a continuation. And even on the last video, I had spoke about TQQQ, and TQQQ is actually breaking above its previous high. And I actually have some 47 calls on this, and it's just Tuesday. So as I was saying, it's just Tuesday, and we can just actually wait for the market to flesh out, see what the CPI does tomorrow. CPI typically has a big move up and down. We have been getting good CPI news of recent, but I cannot, um, we don't know what's gonna happen really. I cannot predict what's gonna happen. I can only hope for the best, and I stand to benefit if the market goes higher because I have buy position. But I can't lose more than like probably $20 or so because I already have the winning trade from yesterday. So it's all basically a risk-free trade now. The TQQQ, the funny thing about that is that the CPI news comes out at 8:30. So by the time the market would be open for me to either sell or keep the TQQQ, the news will have already come out and a lot of the institutional investors can already move. So if there's a huge sell, we might see a huge drop in the TQQQ price tomorrow. But if there's a huge push up, we're going to see a big gap up in the price tomorrow. Let's stand to benefit from that. So we'll see what happens in tomorrow's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.